Alright, what's up everybody? I kind of figured I'd give a little update of what's going on with the car here. As you guys knew last time, I think it was the last video, I had the steering box clamped in place with a bracket. And I actually was going to weld it in. And how I had it set up was I had the steering box in there. Right about in here, using this bolt right here, or this hole right here for the top bolt, and then I made a bracket that goes on, was supposed to go on the frame to mount the two bottom ones, and I was going to run the pitman arm to the front and use that. I was going to run my steering to the rear, to the front of the tires where the spindles are. But I found out when you rotate this right, it goes left. So I had to revamp my idea. So now we got the pitman arm going to the back. In order to make this work, there goes the bracket. Anyway, so now what I'm going to have to do, let me show you guys a little different angle. I'm going to have to mount this steering box way in the front under here, with the pitman arm facing to the back, and steer off the front instead of the rear to make it steer the way it's got to steer when I turn the wheel. I want it to go the way I'm turning it, obviously. So I got to make a new bracket, and that's going to take a little time. I did do a little painting on the frame, just most of it. I still have some welding to do on a few spots. I didn't do all of it, but also we set the steering box down so I can take you guys through a couple things I did. I've been pretty busy with the holiday weekend. We had a bunch of family over and stuff like that. So also what I did, if you notice, in the front there, it used to be all yellow. Now I put a little white in there. Because if you look at a lot of flame jobs, it starts with white and goes into yellow. But I was just a quick idea that I did. So yeah. Also, come over here. The motor. I got the transmission almost ready to go onto the motor. I just got to cut those transmission lines, those two cooler lines right here. I'm going to cut them to about right there, because I don't need all that excess line. And also, these early 283s have it's like a breather tube that comes off of right there, and it goes around the bottom of like that bell housing part of the motor and goes down. And I looked everywhere online, I could not find one for sale. So a lot of these motors didn't have valve covers with the breathers built in. They usually had either a neck coming out of the front of the intake where you put your oil in, or they'd have just like one valve cover would have a kind of an unvetted cap in it to put the oil in. But I'm running these later style valve covers, so I'm going to have breathers on both of those where them holes are at there. So I figured they should be good if I got one of those expandable freeze plugs and put in that hole. And I should be plenty good enough if I got two breathers on the valve covers. And I also got the flywheel mounted up there. I finally got the right bolts. I tried putting it on there before, and the bolts they sent me that I bought were for an actual flywheel for like a manual transmission. So they're a little bit too long. So I got the right ones and put that on there. So I'm just about ready to mount the trans. I want to take a wire wheel or something and clean that up a little bit, and I want to paint it. I don't know what I want to paint it yet, but I'm going to paint that transmission with something to make it look a little bit nicer. And I want to put the adapters for the valve covers on, because like I said before, this is an older style small block head, so I think it's the bottom two on each side. I think they're wider bolt pattern in the top. It's something, I forget exactly how it is, but it's not like a typical small block a lot of people know of, where the four bolts are all in line. They're like this. This one's like that. So I got adapters for that. I just got to put them on. I want to do that before I put the motor in the car, because the way that the motor sits in the car and how high the car is in the front, it kind of be a pain in the butt to do in the car. So I'd rather just do it before I put it in. Other than that, I can't think of anything really else that I need to do to the motor and transmission. I did buy the wire harness that plugs into the plug on it for the 700R4 lockup. I do have to do that, but I can do that once it's in the car. And then once it's in the car, I can also do the transmission mount and fab that up. But right now, the main thing is getting the steering box bracket made up to go in the front there. The only other problem it's going to be, let me take you out of this tripod here and show you. Whoever put this straight axle in here decided it'd be a great idea to add these risers onto the frame right there. See, in between the frame rail, which is there, and the spring mount, which is there, there's probably a 4-inch spacer in there that they put in. So I'm going to have to make a bracket that goes kind of around all that on this front of this frame right here. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. I may just go ahead, because it's 1/4 inch, I may go ahead and just put some 1/4 inch stock in there to fill in around where the bracket's going to weld in, just weld all in at one time. Not sure yet. But the other thing I have to do too, while we're at it, is for the bracket, I got this 4x4 angle iron. And if you look at the steering box, if I put it how I'm going to mount it like this, I still got about 1.5 inches of material that I need there that I don't have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this to length. And then I got this flat stock. I'm just going to weld that on there once I clean it up. Just weld it on there and just extend this to where it'll work. Because I don't have access to anything bigger than this channel wise, or I mean angle wise. And of course I got all kinds of other crap over here too. I don't think my shop has ever been this messy before since I've lived here. So that's how it is though when you're building a car, I guess. Especially when you're building it kind of from scratch like I am. I'm kind of setting it up for everything here as I go. So I painted the frame a little bit because I had cleaned it up in one of them other videos. I didn't paint, of course, the stuff I still have to weld like that. And this cutout that I did for the steering box is actually going to work out good, because I was looking at where the steering column's going to go, which is right there, which I have to replace that still. It's the steering shaft when it comes out is going to run directly through here into where the steering box is going to be, like right in here someplace. So that's going to work out actually perfect clearance wise if you look at it in line. Oh, my phone's doing some weird stuff. If you look at it in line from there, I'm trying to get you in line, from there down, that cutout's going to be perfect. It's hard to see on camera, but I saw it pretty good when I was measuring everything. And that's the cutout. You can see there's like a flange there that I cut it off right here up to just under, it's just right in there. And then it continues there. I didn't cut it there, and of course the other side has the whole thing still. So anyway, it's just kind of a quick thing of what I was doing. Like I said, I didn't really work on it that much over the last few days because we had people coming over, and I had other projects and stuff I had to do and stuff like that. So I was trying to do as much as I could, but I couldn't do a whole lot. And I actually had planned on doing some stuff today. But it's 98 degrees here today and humid, so I really didn't feel like doing much. So hopefully tomorrow I can come out here and get some stuff done. I really need to get some of these brackets made. I want to get this steering in there, and I want to get the motor back in it for sure. Get past all that so I can start doing that. I still got to take that old column out too, but I can do that after. But yeah, I need to do all that. So, but yeah. But in case you're just new and just checking me out, this is the car. 49 Studebaker Champion gasser project. We're getting her underway, but it's slow going at the moment, in case you're just tuning in, like I said. So yeah, we're trying though. It's been slow, like I said. So anyways, guys, that's all I got. I just want to show you what I had going on, and you guys, if you have not subscribed, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want, and check out, I got a Facebook group too for this channel. It's Treetop Garage. I'll put a link in the description below. just underneath where the title of the video is, you'll be able to click on it and you'll be able to go to right to the group. So thanks for watching, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you want, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you on the next video. Thanks for watching.